Greetings, magical humans. Welcome to episode 5, titled Love Requires Discipline. So my name is Monica De Silva, and welcome to the channel Yogi with the Yoni. Want to find out a little bit more about myself, just go to the description as well as the bio, which is located in the channel description. I'm not actually sure exactly where to go, but you're very intelligent and smart, so I'm sure you'll find your way there. And let me get the plugs out the way because they make me feel very uncomfortable. I haven't gotten used to them yet, but you know what to do. If this resonates in any shape, way, or form, please remember to subscribe, like, and I'd love for you to leave a comment. And if it doesn't resonate, just leave it behind and just keep moving. Just keep moving. So yes, welcome to episode 5 today. I actually thought it was such a fitting episode or theme to talk to you about today, and a great follow-up from yesterday's episode, which was all about building micro habits and fostering the consistency and the discipline that is correlated and closely linked with forming or fostering micro habits. So if you haven't seen that yet, go check out episode 4. And this is just, for me, a great follow-up. I know many times we don't think about love in the context of discipline. We often think about love in the context of Disney princess movies and princes on white stallions coming to save the beautiful lassie. And I feel that we've really been conditioned and, dare I say, programmed to believe in this fantasy of what love should be. And having been married for almost 22 years and having watched the wedding video yesterday with our children, caveat, it was completely cringe. I like this word a lot, so I'm going to use it. Very cringe, looking back at myself, and I can only speak through the lens of myself, and obviously observing my husband, and his assessment of himself was also one where he really saw how much he's grown and how much he's changed over the past almost 22 years of us being married together. And it was just such a wonderful way for me to reflect on even the marriage or even a partnership or relationship that you're in is a micro habit. You get up every day, you have to work alongside and with this individual and create something. Change as you go along, get stronger. Some days feel great. Some days feel like the honeymoon. Some days are really challenging and hard. And some days you think, wow, I don't even know if I can do this anymore. So I thought it was actually so beautifully aligned and linked with micro habits, and how fostering a long-term relationship, in my opinion, I guess, is a micro habit, just like one would foster many others. As fate and God would have it, this beautiful passage, or story, came to me during the course of this sunrise, and I can't take any credit for it beyond just reading it and sharing it with you all. But it's a beautiful passage by a magical human. I don't know them personally. I follow them on social media, on Instagram more specifically. But it's by a gentleman called, I hope I'm pronouncing and enunciating your name correctly. If not, profuse apologies. I hope to meet you one day, and then you can tell me the correct enunciation in the flesh. But I read it as Nasser Qazi, and he is the head coach of Kami no Ken in Bali. And it's all about self-transformation, and he assists people working through their trauma through very bespoke means and methods, and he seems to have a lot of tools in his toolkit. So he really resonates with me and what I have to offer and what I feel I'm being intuitively guided and called to bring to this planet in this here now moment. And I would just like to read it to you and maybe just discuss some of the points afterwards and perhaps plant some seeds and water some seeds that have already perhaps been planted and just need a little bit of nurturing as well. So this is his beautiful passage. Love is not butterflies, it's discipline. It's choosing truth over comfort, presence over excuses, actions over empty promises. Love is accountability when it's uncomfortable, responsibility when it's inconvenient, sacrifice when ego wants to run. Most people don't want love. They want the feeling of love without the work that keeps it alive. They want connection without accountability, passion without patience, freedom without responsibility. But look at the bamboo. It bends, it adapts, it stands through storms because it's rooted. That is love. Strong, flexible, disciplined, grounded. Love without discipline becomes chaos, but discipline without love becomes punishment. And most people fail not because they can't love, but because they refuse to grow. So I personally would just like to take a moment to just soak those words in. They truly resonated with me and they make me feel quite emotional. So I just want to touch on this prince and princess fantasy that we've been sold. Not only from, dare I say, Mr. Walt Disney himself, but from society, from friends and family. And only when you embark on the journey of true love do you begin to question the validity of what you've been sold. I also believe that love can only truly, at the heart and the core of its being, be understood, embodied, and felt within oneself, first and foremost. I know it might sound a little bit egotistical for me to say that, and perhaps a little bit ajar about what we've also been conditioned to believe about love. But I, through my own experience and through my own trials and tribulations and chapters of life that I've encountered and faced, have really come to realize that I truly can't love another unless I love myself. And I also believe that we've been made to believe that love is all rainbows and unicorns and, just, turn the other cheek. And it will always be okay, be the better person, all those kind of things. And perhaps you can let me know in the comments what love perhaps did mean to you and what it means now, or anything you want to actually share about love. I'd be really curious, interested, and would just like to know your opinions and thoughts on the aspect of love from your perspective and view. And there's the pause, Monica, breathe. Reminding myself to slow down and savor the moments and appreciate the slow, steady, consistent steps of moving at a slow pace is something which I'm also learning to foster as love within myself. So if you've watched any of my previous episodes, you will have known by now that the habitual phrase of is one that I draw to when I am trying to search for the words or the visions and images that I'm getting, I guess, or am channeling are coming a little too quickly for my mouth to process. So the for me is actually becoming a bit of a gift, and I'm using it as an anchor to ground myself. A little bit of a detour. Then we get back to the topic at hand, and love requires discipline. So yes, I do believe that one can truly only love another when you love yourself, when you have empathy for yourself, when you are able to see that there are two sides to every coin, and that duality provides you with the wholeness that is. It doesn't mean that you need to accept behavior which hurts you. And that for me was a big thing that I needed to learn surrounding the concept and the meaning of love. I thought for a long time that love required me to accept people for who they were no matter what, and no matter how I was treated continuously, despite perhaps trying to share and grow together. There were many experiences and magical individuals in my life that showed me that sometimes love is standing true within yourself and formulating stronger roots that help you grow stronger. And I know some people don't appreciate the word boundaries, but boundaries have been something that I've had to create in order to nurture myself and protect myself from being stompled on, from people coming in and cutting me down and forcing me to have to grow up again. So yes, I'm using that word very mindfully and consciously, but boundaries have become quite a big and important part. And I trust that one day I will get to the point where I don't need any boundaries at all, and that my light will just exude, and any obstacles that are presented, or anyone that wants to, or anything, or any experiences, this isn't a personal thing, because at the end of the day we are all mirrors to each other. So this isn't a finger pointing exercise. This is, I guess, an opportunity for me to communicate how I've seen and how I've adopted the word love in perhaps a different way than what I was raised or conditioned to believe. The other aspect and element I really feel is relevant here, and he makes reference, Nasser makes reference to the use of the bamboo, and how if we look at that bamboo, it bends, it adapts, it stands through storms because it's rooted. And if you know anything about bamboo, it takes 3 years for the roots to grow beneath the surface. And up until 3 years, there's absolutely no visibility of there being anything or much growing above the surface. So these couple of years for me, using or making use of micro habits and the trials and tribulations that the divine has sent my way to really make me stronger, has, in hindsight, now that I almost feel like I've been through portions of the storm, I can really feel how they were sent to me to make my roots fundamentally stronger, rooted and grounded in myself, and rise in love with myself. I never fall in love with myself. I rise in love with myself. So yes, it takes 3 years for a bamboo to begin to shoot above the soil or above the ground. And if I have to provide an analogy for where I see myself right now in this day and age, right now as I'm recording this episode here, I really do so resonate with that. And I so see myself being the little bamboo shoot that is literally just beginning to pop through the soil. I don't even know if I've popped through yet. I feel that I'm still making my way towards the light, but the soil is just beginning to crack open, and I'm just beginning to gain the strength to pop through. And I just feel that it's such a beautiful analogy, and perhaps it will also make you rise in love with yourself and perhaps resonate with what's going on in your life at this particular point of you finding this message and this video. So I really am looking forward to seeing how my bamboo shoots above the earth and rises towards the almighty sun, from which we are destined to be drawn towards. And anyone who finds this channel, I have no doubt that you are destined for greatness and you are destined for wondrous things in your life, regardless of what perhaps you thought it to be. Oh wow, that's a first for me, guys. That was the wind that literally just rocked me over. But so it is. Let's continue. Sometimes the wind comes and knocks you down, and girl, you just gotta, and guys, you just gotta pick yourself up again, and you just gotta keep moving. But let me not sing today. That's for another time. And what else do I want to? What I feel like I got a bit distracted with that wind and gust. So let me take a moment to just regain and recalibrate my thoughts and my thinking. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. So another aspect, and perhaps the final thought that I'll leave you surrounding the episode today, all about love requires discipline, is how sometimes we have these expectations of what love should be. And for a very long time, dare I say it, it's probably 18 years into my partnership or marriage with my magnificent husband, I had expectations. And only now and more recently have I begun to relinquish and release expectations, not because I've become some enlightened being or that some epiphany and revelation has dawned on me as I woke up one day and the light was just shining upon me. No, this arrived through a lot of turmoil, through a lot of hardship, and through a lot of tough times. And it's not to say that you will experience the same thing that I've experienced, but that's how I arrived at what I needed to arrive at. I am a Capricornian, and I do like to climb the mountain. So it's clear that I've set myself up for this in the nature and in the manner which I have. So I feel that sometimes when life tires us out with all the challenges and the struggles that it sometimes presents us, it's a gift that's being bestowed upon us, and sometimes we can't see it as such unless we allow ourselves to see it, or unless we're so tired and exhausted from the pushing against the current that we eventually just relinquish to the flow and just say, oh, fuck it, I'm too exhausted, and let me just see where this takes me. So yes, it's taken me that long. I clearly am either a very slow learner or I really like the experience of the challenge. So yes, I thought it was worthwhile mentioning just to relinquish expectations and to just allow life to guide you a little bit more, and to stop expecting the prince on the, be it a white or black stallion, to arrive in the forefront of your awareness, and know that you have your own divinity within you to rise and save yourself. No one is going to save you. Even though I've been in a partnership for almost 28 years together and going to be 22 married, I've also come to realize that even my husband is not going to come and save me. Yeah, we can be there to support each other and rely on each other and lean on each other. But sometimes you can also only lean on someone until the point that you see that they are also just about to snap and break. And then, like the bamboo, boy, you better start reaching for that sun, and you better start reaching for the sky and making sure that your roots are strong, healthy, and ready to push through that soil. So I'm almost 20 minutes into this video. I would just like to thank you for your time, for your energy, for your unique, magnificent, beautiful, and powerful light. And I just love to hear more about who you are and where you're from. And at the time of me posting this, I have only but a small little following, but I trust in an inner knowing and in an inner guidance that this will reach all the right people, and that it can either be as small as it needs to or as humongous as it needs to, without any expectations, but only accepting and reveling in the wonder and the love that resides deep within myself. So in true form, I would just like to leave you with the, what is this right term? My tagline, if it's even that, my tagline. And it's all about continue to sow so you can flow, grow, and begin to glow. Stay magical, you wondrous being. And until I see you perhaps on another episode, shine bright.